again, beautiful artists, and welcome back to another episode of Paint Along with Skye. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Skye and I post beginning level acrylic painting tutorials here on YouTube every Saturday. So make sure to hit subscribe so you can join the fun and paint along. And don't forget to hit the bell icon to be notified when I post a new video. Alright, this week it is Christmas season, winter, which is actually one of my favorite times of year. Second top. I love fall, but I love the winter, and we have a frosty, snowy painting today with some fun Christmas mittens. I'm going to take everyone through this every single step of the way. I have my 4 standard brushes that I use in most of my classes. These 4 come in a kit with these 4 sizes. Yours don't have to be the exact same size and shape though. They can be the same general size and shape is fine. I like to use a 3/4 inch wash brush and then 3 pointed brushes. This is a size 10, a size 3, and a size 3/0. And these are meant for a water media, which is important. To see a full materials list of everything that I use and recommend, check the description box below. You'll see the colors for today's painting, but you'll also find a link to my materials page that will break it down for you, everything that you need to paint along. To start with today's background step, we're gonna keep it really simple and just go with one of our favorite colors. You really could customize this color if you'd like, but I wanted to do a sort of spearmint frosty green, so I'm going to be using some phthalo green and some white. Really simple. Let's go ahead and jump on into our background step for today. It's going to be pretty much as easy as you can get. I'm going to use my large square brush and a fair amount of water. And I'm just going to mix in some of my gorgeous phthalo green and come into the middle of my canvas and start overlapping some textured brush strokes. And we want a sort of a fantasy snowstorm light spearmint color. So like a color the sky would turn maybe. So a little bit of that blue, fair amount of white. It's a blue-green. Love this color. It's definitely one of my favorites. I think if you also did a normal sky blue, that would look pretty, but we do have some blue in our mittens. I think purple would look pretty too. Whatever you like, don't be afraid to get creative. And if you are getting creative, if you're painting along with me today, I would love to see your work, and I've created a Facebook group that's free to join called the Art Club. It's grown to a few thousand members, and it's truly the best part of my day to see everyone and join the classes, all the different places these classes find their way to. Thank you so much for joining us over there. If you are an Art Club member, shout out to you. Okay, and we're just filling this whole background in with our frosty spearmint. Soaking the paint into the texture of the canvas. Oh, we're getting messy. That's okay, that's part of the fun of it. Things always start nice and neat, and they don't stay that way in the painting process. Now, once you have your whole canvas filled in, you can grab, if you want to, any more pigmented green or white. And just throw that right in there too, because I think that really adds to the snowstorm feel. But it's possible that you went too light also. So you can add a little bit of green back in too, if you need to. And we're just gonna work our background until we're happy with it. That looks pretty good to me. And then once we have a nice even layer of those brush strokes, we are going to step away and let this layer dry completely before we come back and add our clothesline and our cute Christmas mittens. Okay, I'll see everyone in a couple minutes. Okay, welcome back, artists. We have a dry background and a fresh piece of paper here with all new colors on it. So I have a little bit more of my phthalo green and white. I also have some black and some burnt sienna, just a little bit of warm brown. And then I have some ultramarine blue and cadmium red. I rinsed my brushes and got some fresh water at break as well. Let's go ahead and jump right back on into things. I'm gonna grab my second to smallest detail brush. And if you're feeling shy, you could start with white, but I'm going to come in here with gray to create the clothesline. So in my imagination, maybe I put some Christmas wintry mittens out on a clothesline to dry, and here where I am in the very high altitude Rockies, it can turn really sunny to really snowy really quick. So maybe we left our mittens outside is what my imagination here is. But we're gonna do a quick swoop of the clothesline that we're going to hang the mittens on. And it doesn't need to be perfect. It can be a little bit wonky, and that's part of the fun of it, part of the look. And then I'm just going to go over it a couple times until I get a nice solid line. You want to make sure you go far up enough with this to where you can still have room to create your mittens hanging from it, so pretty high up. Okay. Going to tidy things up real quick, but really simple step. And now we are all lined up to create our mittens. Okay, so for the mittens, I'm also going to start with white. Okay, for my mittens, I'm going to start with white. I'm going to take that same brush that I had, and I'm going to sort of eyeball the center and then go off to one side so that I can get enough mittens. And I'm going to start with a line that's perpendicular to my curved clothesline. And this is going to be our first mitten shape. Then I'm going to create a rectangle. Think about how many you want on your clothesline. I'm gonna go for 4, but kind of 2 centered, and then 2 maybe that are coming off the edge a little bit is fine. So I'm just gonna think about my rectangular spacing, and I could even do another rectangle first. 2, doesn't really matter how you wanna sketch out your shape. But from the rectangle, we will then do a swoop down and around. And then on this side, or on one side, a thumb. And when I first sketched this, I made my thumb too large. So a reasonable sized thumb. And then just a mitten shape, really simple. All right, and then this side would have my thumb again. And then coming off the edge. Sometimes I start a little bit smaller than I think where I'm going to end up. So we can adjust things a little bit. Cool. A little bit bigger thumb. And we can adjust a little bit when we're filling in the colors as well. So don't worry if it's not quite where you want it to be yet. You can always adjust it multiple times with acrylic painting, because you can always just do another layer of the background color, which in today's case is pretty straightforward color, so pretty easy to adjust if you need to. And I'm going to do all of the thumbs on the same side, but it doesn't matter if you want to mix it up. and make them go different directions. Totally up to you. Okay. Trying to make sure I have enough space for the fourth one. Needs to be a little bit bigger. They could even be different sizes too, technically, because they're like mittens for the whole family, right? Okay, and then once we have our white, we're going to fill in with our base colors. I'll do that with the next size up brush. This one of my favorites. I really favor these, the two medium-sized ones, the one that we were just using in this one. Okay, for two of my gloves, I'm going to paint it in with red. I'm gonna add a little bit of white, but not so much to make it fully pink, just enough to make it a little more opaque. I do use a lot of white generally to make things opaque because we are using our layering with acrylic. You could always do a lighter layer and then saturate things again if you wanted to. You didn't want to do pink at all, you can do even 2 layers of red. It's okay too. But you can see that that is nice and filled in right away. Let's see, yeah, I'll go ahead and come over here. It's almost gonna mix it up from my original. Because you could do 2 reds together, you could skip 1, or you could come all the way over here. And this was a really fun and easy one. I wanted to do one that is really suitable for artists of all ages. Typically these paintings are geared towards beginner adults, but they are always G-rated, fun for the whole family. But for smaller kids, these kind of paintings are really fun because they let their creativity shine. And it's not super rigid. We're keeping it simple and encouraging ourselves and our families to mix it up. Great. So I'm leaving the top rectangles for now. Just filling in these main glove parts. And I'm going to do a green one, but I want it to be a darker green than my background so that it doesn't get lost and so that it's nice and foresty for this mitten. But also still a little bit of white helps with the opacity of this green color too. If opacity is not a familiar term, I want to mention that I do have a free downloadable glossary that I created of painting terms that I use in this class or that you might hear in your art journey if you're a new artist. And that is an exclusive. If you sign up for my email newsletter, it will automatically send to you as a downloadable PDF, kind of like an ebook, but very short. And that's a thank you for signing up for the email newsletter, which will also just these weekly tutorials right to your inbox. Looking very Christmassy. Let's do a blue one. It's our final base color. And a little bit of white in there too. And this is where you have a chance to adjust things a little bit if you need to. And the idea is that we're keeping our outermost sketch line, but with this background, you can almost hardly tell if you wanted to not go all the way out to the edge. If you want to just focus on getting that shape correct, making it the same as the ones next to it rather than being really a stickler about keeping the outermost sketch line today. And we are also going to outline things, so it's okay if there's a little bit of white showing still. But yes, it's more about making them match. Mine are all the same size, but yours don't have to be. Okay, and then whatever brush you're comfortable with, I'm gonna do one size down. Go ahead and fill in your squares. I'm gonna do classic red and white Santa style gloves with like a little Nordic twist for the red ones. So just white in these rectangles. Pulled a little bit into my red. It looks pretty fine. Pretty good and fine. But you can take some of the glove color again to tidy up if you need to. Very cute. Okay, and then I'm gonna do kind of like a switcheroo with the blue and the green. I'm going to do a beautiful green rectangle on my blue and then a blue on the green. And again, covering my sketch lines or letting them show a tiny bit still, but working on nice matching-ish rectangles. Okay. And some blue for our green one. Maybe those are just like fun, sort of mismatched gloves, or maybe they're one from each pair. We are going to be patient today and take multiple breaks because we really need to do our third layer of color on top of another dry surface. So once you get everything all filled in with your shapes, so let's step away again and let this dry in another few minutes. Pro tip during this time of year when it's so chilly outside, if you're like me and you have your heaters cranking, put the paintings, a safe distance away from a heater and it dries really quick. It's very dry here this time of year too. So I'll see you guys in probably about 5 minutes. All right. Okay, welcome back, artists. We have a dry mid-layer, same colors on the palette paper. We're going to jump right back on into things and get them finished up. And this is the fun part, because now we get to decorate our mittens. So I'm going to do this mostly with my second to smallest brush that I love, and you can start with any one that you like. Let's see, I want to do something fun. I want to do some holly berries, and since I have red already for these red mittens, I'm going to do a darker red. That was maybe a little too dark, and I'm going to come right in the middle of my mittens I'm going to do a few little berries next to each other, and I'm going to do that over here as well. This is in the center of my mitten. And I'm going to go with a little trio. And we can't see that edge. And then I'll take a little bit of white. And I'm going to do a quick little half circle on each of those berries to make them look round. Don't go too dark with your red. You should be able to still see the difference with the highlight too. Okay, and then I'm going to rinse my brush and I'm going to grab some green. And I'm going to do the leaves around the holly too. I'll take one that goes down. I'm going to do a little curved line first. And then these little half circle scoops, part of a circle as if the circle was going around that way. Kind of looks like cherries at first. Like a scalloped edge, sort of. I'll do the leaves coming out of either side, so two different directions. It's always such a classic Christmas decoration to do. Cute. All right, let's see, and let's take a little bit of white and do a quick line down the center of those. So now we have our shapes and a little bit of highlight as well. Cute. All right, and then also here in the mittens, let's do a little bit more decoration. I'm going to go towards the fingertips. I'm going to do a white line. I'm going to do a similar white line here on the thumb. And then this is the part where you can really get creative and you can do any sort of designs that you like. I'm going to do a couple white stripes. And then the tip of the glove mitten I will do all in white. So I have a few lines there. And then let's add some polka dots here in the center. Just decorating our mittens however you like your dream mittens. Super cute. I'm gonna have a little matching design on the thumb of the mitten too. Very cute. Some little polka dots also. So easy. And let's do a little border up top too. Kind of framing our holly berries with a gray. Going to come into the rectangular part. I'm going to do a couple little brush strokes, working my way across, and that was maybe a little too dark of a gray. Went a little too dark, so I'm going to grab some white and soften that a bit. No problem, easy to do. Okay, and that is all we need for that one. I'm just gonna kind of work my way across. I think I'll do a matching glove over here. And I'm just following that same pattern that I did for my first one. Very classic Christmas mitten. You want this line a little bit on a curve. All the way to the edge. And then adding some festive polka dots, because why not? Very cute. A little bit of a lighter gray this time. I'm going to come from the bottom up and from the top down to create some of these up and down lines. Texture on the cuff of your mitten. Just a little bit. Looking cute. Okay, I think I'm gonna make these two actually different. So I'm gonna do a number of stripes on my green one. I'll have one stripe like so, one stripe for the thumb as well. Good ways to start. And then let's do a line that kind of continues that thumb line. And then I'll kind of break them up into thirds. The sections of my glove. And I'm tempted to just kind of go crazy and do all kinds of different patterns. So for this, I'm just going to do little stripes. And maybe also a little white tip of the mitten. All sort of similar. We could do triangles. We're really having fun with patterns with our Christmas colors. And I'm gonna fill in one of the triangles. Leaving the other ones green, alternating like snowy little hills. Maybe a row of polka dots. I like the way just two lines look next to each other. Little stripes. And I think I'm going to leave a little bit green. Let's do like a little curvy pattern. All through that whole section. Very cute. Okay, I think I want to actually do a little bit of dark green in here too. So I have green with just a little bit of black for a slightly darker layer, I'm just going to add a few stripes of that also. Just to add a fun second color. I like it. It's looking very sweatery. Okay, and then our final decorations here for the blue one. We also need to add some lines in our rectangles too, but for now let's do some fun snowflakes. So for the blue glove, I'm also going to sort of frame off a section in the center with 2 lines, initial stripes. And then in the middle, I'm gonna make some snowflakes. And it's really fun and easy to do snowflakes. I add these in lots of my wintry classes. Start with a plus sign. And then you can go in between and add a secondary little line that comes out diagonally from my original plus sign. And that's just like one shape, but you can make each snowflake unique because they are unique, right? So maybe this one, we square it off, make it a little different. So cute. And I'm gonna do little polka dots around those first main snowflakes for some snow as well. But honestly, that looks really cute. And I like how it is with just the 2 snowflakes. But if you wanted to go crazy, you could add a few more. Doing a matching white bottom. Cute, cute, and I think some polka dots would sort of add to the snow feel for this one too. Going for like a Nordic vibe. And since we added some dark green into our green glove, let's do the same with blue. I like the way that turned out. Want to go a little bit darker. And I had a couple stripes of our pretty dark blue too. Looks nice. Very cute. Okay, let's take a little bit of black into that blue to do some of our up and down brush strokes. There in the cuff. And we'll take green, a little bit darker into the green rectangle. So cute. Okay, I'm gonna grab a little bit of my last unused color on the palette paper, which is going to be my cute warm brown for some little clothespins, or what are they called? I think they're called clothespins. I don't hand wash my clothes usually, so I forget what they're called. They used to be used back in the day all the time. Hang up clothes when they're drying. They are called clothespins. I'm not going crazy. I feel like they should be called clothes clips. They don't pin through. So I second guessed myself there, but it's just a really simple rectangle. And then a little bit of a darker brown on one side for a little bit of a shadow. There we go. Looks great. And I'm going to take a highlight color into those clothespins as well. And just do a quick swipe down the other side for a bit of a highlight, just to kind of mix it up. Cute. And then I think I also would like to take a little bit of a light blue and a light green into this section, the cuff. Yeah. Kind of balance it with the white cuffs. Very light green and a light blue. I'm just quickly adding that color on. I'm not trying to put them all on one side or cover them up. Okay, home stretch. Our final little details. Excited to get everything all finished off. I'm gonna take some black and outline things. You don't have to outline things if you don't want to. I think it adds a nice little finishing touch, and I go pretty quickly through the shapes, just the main shapes, to tidy up the outside edge. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. A little bit of fluidity makes it look better, I swear. Going sort of for a shadow, sort of for an outline. And you can outline the darker sides. Well, actually, let's do the whole thing for the clothespins too. Okay, looking cute. Nice little finishing touch. This is also your final opportunity to refine the shape and maybe even cover up some sketch lines that you had from the very beginning. I think these turned out really cute and they're really simple. I can't wait to see what yours looks like. Okay, just going to refine these last little shapes. Super cute. My very final touch will be a little bit of a snow flurry with that same brush. And if you want, you can add some swirls, like a little feeling of a flurry of snow. Just to add what I like to call a touch of whimsy, which I like to do in my classes quite often. I hope you enjoyed painting along with me today. If you are in the Christmas spirit and you're looking for a fun activity to do or a nice idea for a hand-painted gift, I want to mention that there is a special two-part member special for my members. The membership program comes with access to my supplemental courses, which right now is a course on color theory, a couple intermediate courses, and then also now this new holiday course on ornament painting. You can do it right with acrylics, and I have 5 different designs, in the 2-part class, which is now available. I'll show you guys a couple of them. They came out really cute, I think, but they're of different levels. So this is sort of like one of the slightly more intermediate ones. Then there's another one, and then we got some really simple, cute ones too, but it's a holiday ornament painting extravaganza for my members. Thank you very much for my members. There are some other perks. It's just a couple dollars a month to join, and I really appreciate the support also for the channel. So I hope you enjoyed painting along with me today. Please let me know what you thought of today's painting in the comments section below. Hit like if you liked it, and don't forget to join us over in the art club so that I can see your beautiful masterpieces. All right, that's all for this week. Happy holidays, and until next time.